We now vote with our stomachs. We defend with our fears. We forget that every time we look away from corruption, we tell our children that integrity doesn't matter. Seriously, let's talk honestly in Nigeria. Let's talk. In this Nigeria, leadership is often seen not as service, whereas it should be service, but as survival. That's how we see leadership in Nigeria. When people are voted into office or when they rig themselves into office, for them it becomes a survival of the fittest. Thief as you fit. So that even your own people no go talk say you take empty hand enter, you take empty hand come out. You know, they be about service to your people. If a governor fixes one road, we applaud him as if he has done this work with his own money. And that's why some governors finish government property and they claim it and put it in their personal names. They are always the third person in a tripartite agreement. Tifu jam koriko people and none go dey dance around them. If a governor fixes one road, gives someone a contract or dashes out cash during campaigns, he's called Baba. He's called a performer, action governor, the bulldozer, performing governor. We are conditioned to celebrate mediocrity, celebrate crumbs thrown at us as though we're beggars. That has become the currency in our politics. Loyalty is no longer about integrity. It's about proximity to the pot of soup. There is a deep problem with all of us. We're a nation on transaction. Why do we support leaders who betray us? Because somewhere along the line, we stopped believing the system works. People no longer ask questions. We don't ask, is this man honest? This man that you people are putting in front of us and saying he's going to be taking up this seat and that seat, is he honest? No one is tracing family backgrounds anymore. No one is asking questions. We're all sitting down and whatever is thrown at us, that's it. Then we baptize them honorable. With a craze, they ask, did he give you something? That's the question for everybody. Even the people you think you are fighting for, they will turn around and say, that man ain't coming, give us money. And then you ask, how much money? 5,000, 2,000. The ones who are online fighting anybody who says anything contrary to what their bosses do. Oh, you are now the enemy, political enemy who must be brought down. They give them 3,000 naira, 2,000 for a plate of food and 1,000 data to begin to run around all of social media, abusing people who, when they see in human form, they cannot open their eyes properly. We now vote with our stomachs. We defend with our fears. We forget that every time we look away from corruption, we tell our children that integrity doesn't matter. We turn this mirror to ourselves and our children are worried. How we play around thieves. How we applaud them, how we hug them, how we call them friends, and then when the innocent is accused, we are first to jump up because those who accuse him are the real thieves who do not want you to know. We should be angry. We should be on the streets. We should be very angry. We should be asking questions now. Since they have started the campaigns, since they have abandoned governance for politics, this is when we too should start our own campaigns. We should begin to ask questions and we should begin to cancel people. It's time for us to remind people, to point people to the truth that they are neglecting. How did we get here? Why is the law so low? At least we have heard them. They budgeted billions to empower traditional rulers. How much did they budget to empower Supreme Court judges? They increased their salary by 300%. Did they tell us what it's for? How about increasing the salary of the ordinary teacher, of that lecturer in the university? ASU is forever on strike trying to get people to hear them, but no, they won't listen. Why do we protect the powerful while the poor are crushed by the same system? How many systems can you have in a country? One that crushes the poor and leaves the wicked because they are rich? This is personal. Yes, it is personal. Because when billions are stolen, it is not just their billions. And it is not abstract. It is your cousin who died because the clinics had no drugs. It's your neighbor who dropped off a child in school that was kidnapped because the kidnappers were looking for money. It is your friend who fled abroad because there were no jobs here for them. It is you who is left empty with no family, no friends, no job, no money, no food, no water. It is you, and yet it is you who is silent. We have become part of our own betrayal. We're the ones betraying ourselves right now. We have to stop clapping for thieves. I tell you, we need to stop clapping for thieves. We have to stop praising and singing those who build mansions with our blood money. We drive through and then we see castles. One governor would own half of the city. And all we do is make that a beer parlor conversation. We have to start asking hard questions of our leaders, of ourselves, of our nation. The courtroom may decide Yaya Bello's fate, but we can decide even before the courts. We must decide our own future. The courts can't decide that for us. If we continue to excuse and defend and normalize corruption, then let's not even pretend to be shocked when our children inherit a broken nation. Let me say this in closing. Nigeria doesn't need another strong man with a big voice and heavy pockets. Nigeria needs her citizens who are angry enough to demand better, loudly too, consistently, and with integrity. My name is Hilda Dokubo, and this is The Oracle. The Oracle will continue to speak.